Hi everybody, I decided I wanted to make a video about my piercings and my tattoos because, to be honest, I spend so many hours on YouTube just looking them up, and every time I get a piercing I do my research on YouTube is where I go to because I love hearing other people's experience, and I mean it wouldn't hurt to share mine. So I'll start with my piercings because I only have 2 tattoos. I'll just put a picture afterwards because I don't want to show you. At the moment, I have 10 piercings in total. But I've had more, but I'll just end up taking them out because either they got infected or weren't healing properly. So I'll just start with my first holes. I'm currently stretching them. I stretch really slow. I think I've been on this gauge for about almost half a year now. But oh well, I'd rather take it slow than cause a blowout. I got those pierced when I was a baby. I think I was still in the hospital. And I think the nurse did them with a gun or something, according to my mom. So those, for sure, I know that even if I take these things out, they will never close because I've went a really long time without putting jewelry in and they would never close. Then I got my second holes, my earlobes. I got those too when I went on vacation to the Dominican Republic. I think it was a couple of days before my 17th birthday. I got those done at the mall with a gun. I know I shouldn't do that, but they heal fine. I'm 22 now, well, making 22, and I've never really had a problem with them. But what I do notice is when I take them out and I leave the jewelry out for a really long time, when it's time to put them back in, it's kind of tight. Like I have to force it in. It doesn't hurt, but I have to force it in. Yeah, that was that. And then I got my tragus done. That one I also got it done with a gun, and people don't believe me when I said that piercing gave me no trouble at all. It healed quickly. I think about 3 weeks later it was fine. It never got swollen, it never got infected, and all I used to clean it was a little bit of warm water with salt, and that was it. So I'm really happy with that one. Even though I did it with a gun, I'm just glad it turned out okay. Then I went ahead and I got one up here. I got one right up here. And the reason it's not there is because even after a year of it being there, I took out the piercing I think for a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks tops. And when it was time to put it back in, it wouldn't go in. It literally just closed. And I was so upset. I'm like, okay, forget it. I'm not even gonna try again. And then I got this hair. No. Then I got this one. I got that one. I think I was bored. And I just went to the studio, to the piercing studio, and I'm like, okay, do it. That was the first piercing I've ever done with a needle. And that one gave me so much trouble. People say, yeah, with the gun, it's more difficult to heal, but that one was my first one with the needle, and that one had a bump behind it, like a keloid. I was petrified. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna end up with a thing in my ear. So I took out the piercing, and in about 2 weeks the ball really just disappeared. And then I was playing around. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's still open, and I put the jewelry in and it went in, and that was that. It was pretty cool. Then what? Yeah, and then I got this one. This one came with an industrial. This was an industrial. It went right up here. The reason this one is not in anymore is because I went through hell. Like, seriously guys, it was so difficult trying to keep that thing from acting up. I mean, every time I wash my hair, I would be like really careful around that time. I wouldn't sleep on that hair for months, and I had bumps. I had 4 bumps. I had one on the inside of hair, one on the outside, then I had one on hair, and then one on the outside. I was like, I can't do it. So I went back after like 6 months. I went back to the piercing place and I'm like, guys, I don't think it's healing properly. So what they did, they took out the long bar and they put 2 separate little ones. And then this one healed up quite nicely. So I was like, oh, maybe that's really what they needed. Maybe the top one would heal too. I got tired of it. It was hurting. It was always swollen. It looked infected. I'm like, okay, no. So I took it out. I was so sad that day. I think I slept a lot. I loved it. I loved my industrial, but I had to let it go. And then I said, okay, now I need another cartilage piercing, and I went ahead and I got one up here again. That one I think lasted about a month before I took it out. I think I'm done with ear piercings. I had my navel pierced, but I took it out because I was going to the gym once and I was undressing. And there was a loose string on my shirt, and I think it must have wrapped around the ball, whatever, but when I tried to, you know, undress myself, pull it off, it yanked the piercing. It didn't rip out, but it was bleeding and I couldn't even sit down. So I was like, I can't do it, and I took it out. So I don't have that anymore. I went to get it repierced, but the guy said there's too many scar tissues, so it would hurt too bad to do it, and it probably wouldn't even heal properly. So I'm like, you know what, leave it. I got my nose pierced just last year. Wow, it's been a year already. Yeah, I pierced my nose last year. It gave me a little problems at first because I had a bump on it. I'm like, oh, I really started to think that piercings didn't like me anymore. But tea tree oil, I swear by it. I read it on YouTube. I mean, I saw a video on YouTube about a girl who used it, and I was like, okay, well, it doesn't hurt to try. I went and I got it, and about a week after, it was gone. So it's pretty cool. I recommend it. I have my tongue pierced, and as you can see, it's not right in the center. I call this a work of art because I went to get it pierced and the lady was like, no, she can't do it because I have a vein right in the center, and if she punctures it, I'm gonna go from the piercing studio to the hospital because the bleeding would never stop. So I was pretty bummed. I remember I cried about it. I wanted it so bad. And then I spoke to another friend of mine, and she was like, no, I know a girl who could do it, and it's just that, I'm like, how can she do it? She's gonna puncture my vein. I'm gonna bleed to death. She was like, no, trust me, it's pretty cool. So I went by her, and what she did, she put it at an angle. I'll show you at the bottom. She put it at an angle, so it's like on this side at the bottom, and then it comes up like that, and I like it. I got my piercing and I didn't die. That's important, right? Yeah. And then the latest, my latest piercing is my lip. Today's Saturday. Coming Monday would make it 3 weeks, so I'm going in to change it for a shorter bar. But I'm thinking about getting a little hoop or a horseshoe or something because I'm scared. Look, I'll show you inside. I'm scared that eventually my skin, the skin on my lip would heal over the little disc. Look, I'll show you. You see? It's very, I don't know if you can see it, but it's very difficult to find, and when I wake up in the morning I have to like push it back, and I don't want that to happen. Now I'm tempted to do the other side of my lip because I want snake bites now. I know I shouldn't have opened that can of worms when I got this one. I knew it. But that one I have to think about because I am in business school, and how would you like if I look like this and I'm going to take care of your business, right? So I have to think about that a little more.